Yeah, well, I mean, look, it goes without saying that the majority of Muslims in this country are well integrated and adjusted, and that should be celebrated. But people constantly say, oh, it's a small minority who are like this. It's not. It's a very sizable minority of the Muslim population of this country hold views, attitudes and beliefs that run completely contrary to our civilization and our culture. And it's not getting better. People used to say, oh, well, this is just first immigration Muslims. Their children and grandchildren will be very different. On the contrary, it's the children today who hold far more radical views than their parents or grandparents. I mean, there was one poll done by the Policy Exchange that showed, this is quite unbelievable, 1/3 of young British Muslims aged 16 to 24 believe ex-Muslims should be put to death for apostasy. This is quite amazing. A majority of British Muslims believe that homosexuality should be illegal, compared to 5% of the broader population. 3/4 of British Muslims in this last poll do not believe that Hamas committed murder and rape on October the 7th. Now, you might think that's a bizarre thing for them to believe, but actually it's in keeping with previous polls. 31% of British Muslims believe that America was behind 9/11. 7% believe it was the Jews. Only 4% believe it was Al-Qaeda, which of course we know. More Muslims also believe that Diana was killed because she wanted to marry a Muslim than believe she was killed in an accident. Now, those are just the most bizarre things. But then you look further and you see that 62% of Muslims want to restrict free speech in order to protect religious sensitivities. 52% believe that there should be no picture of Muhammad shown. Every gauge you look at, most scarily, 9% of British Muslims, 400,000 people, identify as being Islamists and supporters of terrorism, and 15% sympathise with terrorism, compared to 6% in France and Germany. And 81% of British Muslims identify as Muslim first and British second, whereas it's only 66% in Germany and it's only 46% in France. We have a real issue here which we need to address, and we can't keep covering these things up.
Abdullah, that's a